Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Is this sell-off finally finishing or is it just beginning? Well, we're going to discuss that today. Thank you for joining me, and if you haven't already subscribed, drop a comment and hit the bell for the latest news in crypto. Alright, so let's take a look first at Ethereum. Ethereum has actually been doing kind of well before, but we are hitting a rather down spot inside of it. We were thinking we were going to break out, actually going to kind of come up, but it did play a little swap on us. When we're speaking about that, so it kind of came out, we're kind of moving in that triangle a little bit, and so we'll more or less we've been kind of moving in a range, but it's kind of gave us that triangle pattern. Now it did kind of come up, then reverse and come back, and now we're actually re-entering the vortex here, as we say. So it does look like it's going to start coming back up, but what has me a little bit nervous is that there was a drop in the last day or so. There was a drop inside of the volume. But what we do have though, and what makes it a little bit more grim, is when we're looking at the MACD, for example, which I love to go by this because it does give me a better idea about where it's going to go, at least for the next couple of days. So around 3 days, the MACD is really proficient in giving you an idea of where the price pattern is going to go. So where we're looking at now, as far as like the 28th of December, right, we're kind of like falling down. When you see it, even if it's in the blue, like even here, but you can see it's actually a huge sell-off right here. When it crossed, that was a sign that it was going to continue dipping. But now here in the next couple of days, it could be potentially that it's going to go back up, what gives me that hope as well. And plus, and when we're looking at the volume of the seller actually started to decrease a little bit, a lot when we're giving it the fact of today, and that's where we're kind of standing now. So it looks like that, but Ethereum standing right now is at 30,742 bucks. Not the hottest, it's not the greatest where it's been, especially considering that we were up pretty well, especially like 4,800 back in November, and when we reached that all-time high for Ethereum. But that is where we're standing now. It looks like we are slowly making our way back in. When we're looking at the weekly as well, giving it the week, we're gonna have that really ugly candles and those wicks kind of showing up, and that was a big sign right here, especially November the 21st. That week, it was a big sign that it was going to go down because there was just a huge amount of potential for sellers, and they kind of gave us that warning, right? But they did buy back into it, and so it started out selling, but we just couldn't manage just yet. Now, when we're looking at the other coins too, like Solana, for example, see, we're kind of moving off into a wedge as well. This pattern kind of coming down. When we're looking here, sorry, it doesn't look so hot either. It's kind of moving around, but what we do have, for example, is that it is kind of crossing back in, which is kind of weird. It's really close. You can see it's just kind of like moving back in. It's really fighting it out. Battle of the position, battle of the power here. So we do have that kind of coming in. Overall, it is rather volatile right now. But when we're looking at the volume, we do have it that is kind of stagnant. It's just kind of slowly moving in. We don't really have any kind of big pumps coming up for Solana. Right now, it's sitting at $176. We are in the top of the channel of this, which is really good. So that's the baseline where we want to be minimally. And so once we can see that it continues to move up, especially in the next couple of days, it shows that it can actually start having an upward trend. But we are in January. Again, it's going to start pumping up in January. It's absolutely okay to have these signs that have this kind of coming back down. But the candles, all in all, is when we're having the retractions kind of come back in. We have that. The only thing is it's still moving at a slightly angle as well. And that's where we want. So we want it to at least minimally to continue in the range and see that volume really pump back up before we can really see a breakout and really make some hard-earned cash, right? Speaking about Terra Luna is also doing pretty well considering, but it is at $90 for the day, which is pretty good. It had a big boom, especially at the end of the December, the 26th, right? We had some selling going on, and that was that sell-off that was happening, right? Now you can see that it crossed. The same for the MACD, it did cross as well as the moving averages, and it is signifying a jump back up. So I would expect it for it actually to reach another high pretty soon. It does give it that. as well. Now we do have some good volume going on here. Of course, like back in the beginning of December, we had that big warning sign that it was going to jump with that volume. You always want to sell in a area where there's lots of volume. Now, if the price is actually increasing, but the volume is low, it's volatility, and that's where we don't want. And that's a sign of a warning. Now, if we have lots of volume in a short amount of time, it does show that it's going to have a breakout pretty soon. And so that's something that we're looking in. But Luna is looks like it is going to pump back up. It looks like this is actually, with the coins based what I'm looking at, it does show that the sell-off is starting to finish up pretty well, as well as even when we're speaking about AVAX here. AVAX is even getting ready to make a jump. It looks like we're going to kind of shoot across support as well. Or I'm sorry, we're going to shoot across the resistance line as well. It looks like we're going to have that kind of coming in as well. We're moving in that direction. And it's sitting at $115 as of right now. We're kind of making that pump back up, and so we're going to be able to see it. Now, going over the entire market, Bitcoin for the daily is up by 0.5%, 57%, down by almost 6, by 577 for the weekly. Ethereum is down for the day by 0.8 and down by the week by 7.34% as well. Now, Solana is up by almost 2%, 1.99 for the day, and down almost by 8 as well, at 783. Now, Cardano is still kind of just moving in. It looks like we really reached that top for Cardano. That's what we were speaking about before in the last videos. $1.35, it reached $1.50. Of course, people started liquidating, selling it out. So, but it is up by almost 3% at 296 for the day and down by 5%. Now, XRP is down by barely anything for the day, by 0.31% and down by 8.15%. Now, AVAX. Now, we were speaking about AVAX very well. We in previous videos, we exactly went over that AVAX in January is going to start moving up. We were speaking about AVAX, Polkadot. We were speaking about XRP is even going to move up. And you're going to see this as well. You're going to have Polygon. Matic is really doing really well. And this is only going to get better. But for the daily, Matic is sitting at 2.13 for the day minus and negative 6.25 as well. Now, Algo is also one of those coins that's doing pretty good. We spoke about that, 6.68%, 2.43% for the daily. Now, Uniswap is about 1.5 up for the week and only down by 0.26% for the daily as well. Near Protocol is also doing much better at 1.02 for the daily, and 0.71 is doing pretty well. Now, Phantom is up by double digits. Another one of those gaming coins that you should really pay attention to. It's 16.80% for the week and 12.31. Fantastic. Axie Infinity is down by 11.5 for the week and 0.18 for the daily as well. Now, Decentraland is also kind of down by double digits for the week at 11.98. Of course, kind of following into that liquidation setting as well. So these coins are you really want to watch out for as well. To stay below the top 25, 30, below those, you're going to see these coins really kind of kick it up a notch. Even XMR is actually double digits up for the weekly as well, and 3.29. So you can see all of these bottom coins are actually doing really well, especially if you're paying close attention to these. And there's going to be a lot of releases coming out. Of course, we had Matic and Uniswap kind of converging as well, working together. You're going to see that actually jump up. You're going to feed into each other. But there's going to be more and more releases that's going to come up and really going to feed this frenzy for buying. So don't miss that out. Don't miss out on that, or you'll definitely be crying in the corner of your room. All right, guys, this is all I have for you today. So it is finishing up that we are not going to be liquidating everything. It's not the bottom. So I think we see nothing but green seas ahead. So follow me, subscribe, drop a comment, and I will see you guys next time.